Krishna Prastaya Bhutale. Bhu is, of course, we know earth, and Tale means the surface. He's very dear to Krishna on the surface of the earth. So this is Tal. Earth, Tal. Oh, we have some. All right. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjaliya Jaya Radha Madhava Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jana Vallabha That wherever Srila Prabhupada went in the world, before he gave class, he always used to chant Jai Radha Madhava. Although it is a very, very simple song written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. There's no story, there's no pastime. It's simply names of Krishna. But those names of Krishna are made in such a way, put together in such a way, the whole picture of Vrindavan comes in this song. First, Jai Radha Madhav. Because Radha Madhav, they're the essence of Vrindavan. Jai Radha Madhav, Kunja Bihari. All the kunjas and nikunjas of Braj are there. Jai Radha Madhav, Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha. All the gopis are there. Prabhupada said this is Vrindavan. Very simple life. Some kunja means little forests and bushes and trees, like that. Not skyscraper buildings and motor cars. And some gopis, cowherd girls are there, cows are there. This is Vrindavan. Jai Radha Madhava, Kunja Vihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha, Giri Varadhari. And Govardhan is there. Our picture of Vrindavan will be incomplete without Govardhan. So Jai Radha Madhava, Kunja Vihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha, Giri Varadhari, Yasoda Dandana, Mother Yasoda is there, Braja Jana Ranjana, all the Brajavasis led by Nanda Maharaj are there. Brajajan is the residents of Braj. Brajajana Ranjana, Jamuna. And of course, without Jamuna, our picture of Vrindavan is also incomplete. Jamuna Tira, Banachari. Ban means forest. So on the bank of Jamuna, on the eastern side, there's 5 forests. What is that? Of course, the biggest, Gokul Mahavan, then Bhadravan, Belvan, also known as Srivan, and Bandirvan, and Lohavan. 5 forests on the eastern side. Presiding deity is Baladev. And on western tier, on the western bank of Jamuna, 7 forests are there. Madhuvan, Bahulavan, Kamudavan, Bahulavan, biggest, Vrindavan, then of course Kamyavan, and one small little one, Kedarvan. 7 forests, 7 and 5, 12. So all the 12 forests of Vrindavan. There's a whole picture. Vrindavan comes in this simple little song. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chaksurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya-Manubhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Jati Swaparandhikam Adadanastranandan Dairidam Yache Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Pavaram Bhujo Dulisyam Janma Janmani Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gauri Netrotsava Mangalaya Tat Prananataya Rasa Pradaya Sada Samudkanda Govinda Lila Gana Pravinaya Namostatuvyam. In the Karacha, or notebooks of Murray Gupta, it describes how Mahaprabhu went on pilgrimage of South India. So that time, somewhere, I can't remember exactly, he entered one Shiva temple. And spontaneously he composed one Shivastakam. Very beautiful prayer to Lord Shiva. So the last line of this verse is Sri Gauri Netrotsava Mangalaya. Netra, you know Netra? Netra means eyes. So Utsav, we know Utsav. So it becomes together, it comes Netrotsav. The festival of the eyes. Netrotsav Mangalayam. The very auspicious festival of the eyes of Gauri. Gauri is wife of Lord Shiva. So that Lord Shiva, he is the festival, the most auspicious festival of the eyes of Gauri. Because when wife sees her husband, then she feels very, very happy. So when Gauri sees Lord Shiva, she feels happy. So he is the Sri Gauri Netrotsava Mangalaya Tat Prananathaya Rasa Prataya Tat Prananath. He is the life of that Gauri. That is referring back to Gauri. Tat Pranana. He's the life, her very life. Tat Prana. He's the prana of Gauri. And Rasa Pradaya. And he's always giving ras. Why is she so much attached to her husband? Because everyone is attached, every wife is attached to her husband, or should be attached to her husband anyway. But she's attached, why? Rasa Pradaya. Because he's always giving ras. He's bestowing ras. Tat Prananathaya Rasa Pradaya. How? Sada Samudkanta Govinda Lila Gana Pravinaya Namostatuvyam. Praveen. You have any friend named Praveen? You have any life member, congregation member named Praveen? Not there in Philadelphia? No Praveen is there. Praveen means very, very expert. Sada Samudkanta Govinda Lila Gana Pravinaya. Gana means to sing. It's like we have got this book, Gitar Gan. You've seen this, Prabhupada's little book. He made poetry, Bengali poetry of Bhagavad Gita. You've seen this little tiny book they call Gitar Gan. Gan means song. So Gana Pravinaya, he's very expert at singing. What is that? Sada samutkanta, not only singing, but with great enthusiasm, with great longing. Sada, always, he's always with great enthusiasm, ready to sing. Very expert at Sada samukanta govinda lila gana pravinaya namostutubhyam. So I offer my respects to that Lord Shiva. So this is why we see on all the dhams, Lord Shiva is there. He's very expert in glorifying and singing Govinda Lila. This is his very special quality that is known only to the Vaishnavas. Shri Gauri Netrotsava Mangalaya Tat Prananathaya Rasa Pradaya Sada Samutkanta Govinda Lila Gana Pravinaya Namostutubhyam. So yesterday we got as far as Santanukund, where we heard about how Maharaj Santanu, he stayed in this place and performed very severe penances and austerities, and Lord Krishna appeared and he asked for a son just like him, because there's no one just like me, but almost, I will give you a son, he will be as strong as Balaram, and just like I am famous throughout the universe, he will be also famous throughout the universe. Because we know that he got that name Bhishma, that wasn't given by his father, that was given by the demigods. He was famous for that. He took vow that he will reign brahmachari throughout his whole life. For Kshatriya, this is practically unbelievable. So the demigods, Bhishma means horrible. Horrible, how horrible, how horrible. They cannot dream of such a thing. Bhishma. Even today in the Hindi, sometimes you see there was 2 buses crashed head on, and it says Bhishma accident. Horrible. So he'll be famous throughout, just like I'm famous throughout the 3 worlds, he'll be famous throughout the 3 worlds, and he will be able to leave his body at his own desire. So all these benedictions Maharaj Santanu got at this place called Santanu. So as we go a little ahead, then we come to a little forest, very, very sweet forest. In fact, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, and there's nice descriptions of Mahaprabhu walking through the forest of Braj, and the deers coming and sniffing, thinking, he appears to be our Brajanandan Shyam Sundar, but he's golden colored, like that. The deers and creepers and cows were coming with their big brown eyes, and just seeing this beautiful person who was walking along the road and chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. All of those beautiful descriptions in Chaitanya Charitamrita are describing Mahaprabhu passing through Bahulavan. Very, very sweet and natural forest. And this Bahulavan is named after, since we're talking about cows, it's named after a cow named Bahula. But to get to that, we have to go way back up to in the past. There were 2 Gandharvas named Hu and Ha. That was their names, Hu and Ha. And they are very expert at singing and dancing and playing on musical instruments and entertaining. So one time there was a big assembly of all the devas. All the devis and devas were there. And Hu and Ha were singing and entertaining everyone. At that time, Narad Muni came along with the great sage Pipalayana Rishi. So as Pipalayana Rishi, as soon as he reached that assembly, all the devas, they stood up with folded hands and offered their respects to him. And then when he sat down, he looked at these 2 fellows, Hu and Ha, and he became very angry. They said all of these great demigods, because Gandharva means he's not demigod, they're less than demigod. They have all offered respects and you were just standing here. You have no proper etiquette. Therefore I curse you, you will go to the material world. You're behavior is very bad. And Hu and Ha, they folded their hands, they said, my dear Rishi, you are Trikalagya, you can see within and without, and all time and space. You just see if within our hearts we did not offer respects to you or not. Although we were performing within our hearts, we were offering respect to you. So Pipalayana Rishi, he sat in meditation and he could understand that he had committed a grave mistake. He saw that it was true. Within their hearts they had, because he could see within the heart of the living being. In the past also he could see. So he thought, I've already pronounced this curse, so I will also go. And this Narad Muni, because he didn't stop me from pronouncing this curse, he will also go. And Mother Earth will also, because she has borne witness to this whole thing, she will also go. So Mother Earth was born as Bahula, very beautiful cow. And one day, and she had a very beautiful little calf, and there was a very, very beautiful little Gopa who was taking care of her cow, taking care of her and her calf. And they were all very, very happy. They lived very happily. Little Gopa was always bringing nice grasses and grains for his cow and taking care of her. But she didn't have calf yet. She was about to have calf. She was very, very fat, about to have calf. So one day, it was Ekadasi. So Bahula the cow, she was fasting. She was doing Nirjala Ekadasi whole day. At the end of the night, she gave birth to her calf. And because she had been doing Nirjala all day and all night, and then she gave birth to a calf, it was very hard labor. So she was too much thirsty. So even without suckling and taking care of her calf, she wandered off to find water. So at that point, one huge lion was there in the forest. And he saw this beautiful cow wandering here and there. He thought, oh, this is my breakfast. So early in the morning, Dwadasi. Nice way to break my fast. So, he immediately charged at that Bahula cow. And when she saw the lion, she bowed down to the lion and said, please, let me do one thing. I promise I'll return. But I didn't. I just gave birth to a calf. I was so thirsty, I just came to the river to drink water. I have to go back, and I must give that first milk to my calf. Then I promise I'll return. Because those who know, who take care of cows, that first milk that comes after the calf, that we don't drink. That is very special, thick type of milk that is especially meant only for the calf. Those who take care of cows, they know it. That first day.
Medicine.
Huh?
There's medicine.
Medicine. It will strengthen the immunization system of the calf, and so many things are there. And generally, people we don't drink. It's only meant for the calf. So she begged and pleaded with that lion. So lion, he knew, he could see this Bahula, she was very honest. So he believed on her word. So he told, all right, I'm waiting here. So she said, yes, I will go. I will feed my calf. I will give her to my sister to take care of. And then after saying goodbye to everyone, I'll return. So it's all right. He trusted her. So she went back and she began to feed her calf and lick him. And tears were flowing from her eyes. And little calf said, Mata, oh Mata, why are you crying? And she said, because this is the last time I will ever see you. Oh, Mata, why is that? Because I was in the forest and one lion came and I promised him that I would come back and feed you, and then I would come back and he will kill me and eat me, so I'm not going to see you again, so I'm crying. So the calf said, no, Mata, how can you're my mother, you've given me life. How can I see you die? I will go. Let the lion eat me. You stay here. The mother said, no. I'm old. You have a whole life in front of you. I have lived for so long. Now it is my time. You should let me go. No, Mata. You have given me life, so you should go on living. Let me give my life to the lion. So like this argument was going on, cowherd boy came. That goat came. He saw both cow and calf are crying. He said, I got a new calf and calf is crying and cow is crying. He said, why are you crying? And they explained everything. He said, no. How my calf and cow can die? No, I will go and give myself to the lion. No. You have taken care of us for so long. How can you go and give up your life? You stay, I will go. No, the calf said, no, I will go. The coward boy said, no, I will go. So all three of them went to the lion. So they came there to that lion. And each one was begging, no, you eat me, save my mother. No, eat me, save my cow and calf. No, you eat me, save my calf. Like this, all were arguing. And lion, he was so shocked to see all this. His heart became changed. He refused to eat. At that time, Krishna appeared, and then he played on his flute, and suddenly everyone appeared in his real form. That calf was none other than Narad Muni, and let's see, who was Pipalayana Rishi was the cowherd boy, the cow was Mother Earth, and the lion was Huhu. He became that crocodile that captured Gajendra. That's another story, but anyway, Huhu became the lion and Haha became the crocodile who captured Gajendra. Now beautiful painting is there behind Panchatattva deities. So then Krishna revealed all of their real forms. So that forest became known as Bahulavan, named after this very beautiful cow named Bahula. And later actually she became one of the queens. I can't remember. She became one of the queens of Krishna also in Dwarka. So from Bahulavan, we're just nearby Chattikara. When you come down the Delhi Agra highway, and there's a sign, big finger is there, it says Vrindavan. And those who've been, you've seen, big finger is there, say Vrindavan. That village right on the highway where the highway meets the Bhaktivedanta Swami Marg, that is known as Chattikara. Because we know, way back in Gokul, after Putana came and Trinarvat came and Saktashura came and so many demons came and created disturbances. So then, all the cowherd men, headed by Upananda, the older brother of Nanda Maharaj, called a big meeting, and they decided that they should pack up and go to Vrindavan. That this place is not safe, we should go to Vrindavan. So then, they packed up all their belongings on beautiful bullock carts. And they put all the ladies and children on the bullock carts. And there was hundreds and thousands of bullock carts, all with beautiful colored canopies and flags, just like we were now at Kumbh Mela. We got to ride, by mercy of Prabhupada's books, one Mahant, Ramananda Puri. He came to see us one day. He wanted a copy of Prabhupada's Bhagavatam, because he lived in Vrindavan with Prabhupada for 1 week. And he was very much attached to Prabhupada and his books. So there's these, all the Nagababas are divided into what are called akaras, or different akaras. So he was from Niranjani Akara. he wanted a set of Prabhupada's books. Unfortunately, we didn't have one right there, so we told him we would order one from Bombay or something like that. And we were talking, and our co-president, Sarvabhauma, I don't know if anybody knows Sarvabhauma, he's very big, like this, bigger than Brahmananda. He's very big and hard for him to walk also. His legs are always swollen. So he was lamenting how he couldn't go for the bathing. Because whenever we went with Harinam and we took the Didi cart down to the Sangam, then he would just ride on the Didi cart. But that day, no vehicles are, especially pulled by huge bulls with great big horns, they don't allow. So he was lamenting. So then the guy was saying, actually, why don't you come on our procession? Because they used to go on elephants. Now they've also banned elephants. So they just have these big tractor trolleys, and they put big thrones in the back of the tractor trolleys and this and that. And he was thinking, well, actually, you have a tractor? And we said, yeah, because we had the Padayatra tractor there. He said, all right, you just bring your tractor, you can go along behind. Like that. So then we got the Padayatra tractor, and we just took some bed sheets and tied them all around it to make it look something nice. We put one of these big wooden beds inside it, like that. And and Sarvabhauma, he tied his big white chadar around, sort of Indra style, and he sat there on one side, and I was sitting on the other side. He was looking like big Mahant. So we got to ride in the procession. And Niranjanakara, there first is Mahanirvani, then second is Niranjanakara. So we were the second group in procession. So all the tractor trolleys, they all have big flags, and all the sadhus are carrying big flags. And very beautiful. And it goes across, there's these pontoon bridges. A huge wind was there. So as we were going across, all these different colored flags were just fluttering. When we were coming back also, the bridge was down, and we were way up, and we were looking down, and it was a big, long procession, so we could see. Because we were at the end. So we had a very humble position right at the end, so we could watch everything. So I was just watching. They were down on this pontoon bridge going across the Ganga, and all this wind was blowing like anything, so all these flags were just fluttering. So like that, all these beautiful colored flags were there on these bullock carts, and beautiful canopies over top of the embroidered canopies with little strings of pearls like this, and all of them looked like so many beautiful colored clouds moving along with these huge bulls, puffing away, boom, boom, like this, and it looked like another Sangam, like a celestial, beautiful, multicolored river was going to join in Sangam with the Jamuna. It looked just like Sangam. This huge, unlimited row of beautifully decorated carts. And all around, the cowherd men were walking all around, and all around them were hundreds and thousands, because Nanda Baba has got 9 lakhs of cows. Lakh means 100,000, almost 1 megabyte of cows. So it just looked like ocean of milk. All these cows walking along, beautiful white cows walking along. And where they went over the hills, they looked like waves in the ocean of milk. And they all came down, and they got to the Jamuna, and somehow or other they got the bullock carts to float, and they set the bulls loose, and the bulls were going along, just their noses up above the water, blowing, their heavy breath as they were going through it was cold early in the morning, and sort of like steam is coming out from their noses, and they're going across, and the cowherd men are carrying the calves on the bullock carts, and the mother cows are behind, mooing and mooing, seeing their calves like that being held by the cowherd men. Somehow or other they got across the Jamuna. When they got to the other side, they went a little ahead, just past where our Krishna Balaram temple is. They went a little ahead and they came to Chatikara and they made a big circle. Chatikara actually means when you take all of these bullock carts and you make a big circle. So they made a big circle, and around that big circle they put so many sticker bushes, sticker branches, thorn bushes. In American English we could say sticker, they stick in the bottom of your feet. So in America sticker has another meaning, but anyway, thorn bushes. They put all kinds of thorn bush branches all around, and they all went down, laid down and took rest. So then in the morning, before dawn, everyone got up. They got out their Shalagram Shila, and they began to worship the Lord with Mangalartik, and then all the ladies began to milk the cows, and then they began to churn the butter, ching, 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 and all the different, and some began to cook, and like this, all the different, as the sun came up, everybody was engaged in different activities. Everyone was busy, and everyone was singing the glories of Krishna. So this is Chatikara. So they stayed there at that Chatikara for some time while they were building a big palace in Nandini. And here, this is where Krishna first he was Vatsapal. Before he became Gopal, he was Vatsapal. You know Vats? Vats means calf. So Krishna began to take out the calves here at Chatikara. This is where he began to take out the calves. Just close by. He used to go down, because Chatikara is very close by our temple. So that's where Raman Reti gets his name. Because he would go there with all the calves and sport in the sand with all the cowherd boys in that place. So that part of Vrindavan became known as Raman Reti. And also that time this Vatsasura was killed, and so many different pastimes took place before they moved off to Nandagram. A little ways down the road, we come to a place called Rao. And if you go way back inside Rao and ask everybody for Dauji Mandir, there's a very, very ancient temple of Krishna and Balaram. Very, very old deities of Krishna and Balaram in this village. And they say Krishna and Balaram also used to come here with the cowherd boys and enjoy so many pastimes. And still I have to find out, but many persons have told this is one of the first places that Radha and Krishna ever met. But I don't know, I've never been able to find any pastimes, just everybody keeps telling me this. But I've never found any pastime for this. But down the road from there, there's a village called Basati, although nowadays it's known as Vasanti. It's like now, the season is called Basant, springtime. Just started, just like 29th. I was describing that was the bath on the Amavasya, the new moon day. So then after that, that was 24th. Then 29th, that was Basant Panchami, 5th day of Basant. So now for 2 months, this Basant season is there. Just like if you listen early in the morning, every once in a while, not hearing so much yet, when it gets a little warmer, then they'll start singing very, very loudly and very frequently. But you'll hear this kokila. Sometimes you hear that in the morning?
Yes.
Last night, there's another bird I was hearing last night. Somehow I couldn't sleep last night, so I got up. And I was reading. And then I heard there's another bird. He's about 3 times bigger than a crow, and he's got reddish-brown wings. And very seldom fly. They just go along in the lower bushes, and hop along the ground and go in the bushes. They can fly, but mostly they just hop along like this. But last night, somehow or other, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning or something, all of a sudden I was listening and I heard this. You heard this one? All out of synchronization, that it's just, it sounds like Outer Limits or something. One is singing. So anyway, we're at Basati. No, yes, we're at Basati. So this is a place where Brisbanu Maharaj, when he saw that Nanda Maharaj was leaving Gokul and he was living nearby, his kingdom was Raval. So he also moved and he was living at this place, Basati, which nowadays is called Basanti. That's how we got off describing Basanti and the cuckoos. So he was living there. So this Ral is right in between Chatikara and Basanti. The middle place is Ral. So it must have something to do with why Radha and Krishna had one of their first meetings at this place. So as we move past Basati, then finally we come to the very beautiful village of Radhakund. When Mahaprabhu was going on Prikrama, after leaving Bahulavan, he also headed towards Govardhan Hill. Because Radhakund and Shamakund are the two eyes of Govardhan Hill. Because Govardhan Hill, he's got form just like a peacock. So the two eyes are Radhakund and Shamakund, and he's got a big long neck, and then he's got a big body, just after Manasi Ganga in the town of Govardhan, the big body is there. Then way down by Govindakund and Putri, he's got a big tail. So his eyes are Radhakund and Shamakund. So Mahaprabhu was coming down the path from Bahulavan, completely in trance of ecstatic bliss, and just chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And he was completely in trance of ecstatic bliss, completely unaware of his surroundings. But those devotees who were with him, Balabhadra and the Sanodia Brahmin, they asked some of the villagers, what is the name of this place? And they told them that the name is Aritagram. So when Mahaprabhu heard the name Aritagram, then immediately he came back to his external consciousness. Because he could understand, although now it was called Aritagram, the original name was Aristagram, named after Aristasura, who came in the form of bull. Aristasura came in the form of a bull. So immediately he began to ask everyone, his two servants and all the villagers, where is Radhakund and Shamakund? Now why, by remembering this pastime of Ristasura, which is a demon, was Mahaprabhu remembering Radhakund and Shamakund, which is a very sweet Madhurya pastime? Because what happened was that particular evening, Shyamsundar was getting all dressed up to go do Ras Leela with Srimati Radhika and all of the gopis. He just put on his best lightning-colored pitambar dhoti and beautiful reddish chadar and beautiful crown. He was all ready to go dancing when he heard the news that this Aristasura was coming and just terrorizing all of the Brijbasis with his huge hoofs. It was just like Gujarat earthquake. Bam, 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 everything was caving in. Huh? And he was just, with his horns, he was smashing their houses, bellowing, making a horrible sound, and all the Brishbasis were totally terrorized. He was tearing up the earth, he was tearing up their houses. So then Nandanandan, he tightened his belt and he got ready to do fight. So that Aristasura came charging at him, and he just grabbed him by those horns, swung him around and threw him. Aristasura became more furious, and he stood up and again charged. Again, Nanda just grabbed him by the tips of his horns, whirled him over his head, smashed him on the ground and stomped on him, just like somebody stomping on a sponge. And it's described, Prabhupada says in Krishna book, he passed stool and urine simultaneously and passed to the kingdom of death. There's many times when people die, then all the body relaxes, so automatically stool and urine come. Let's see this nasty material works. You die, this may happen, and everybody has to clean you up. It's a nasty place, this material. Don't come back. So, then, Shyam Sundar, he invited Srimati Radhika and all the gopis. Now we can enjoy Ras. And Radharani said, you have made a big pop. You know, pop? Pop means sin. You have killed a bull. And Nanda said, Arey, that wasn't a bull, that was a demon in the shape of a bull. And Radharani said, may have been a demon, but he was in the shape of a bull. We heard from Mother Purnamasi, the one time Indra, he killed a demon, but he was a Brahmin. You remember that Britasur? After Indra killed that Britasur, then this old lady who was coughing just like me, except blood was coming, with tuberculosis, was chasing after him as a simple reaction for killing a Brahmin. And he had to hide for 1,000 years in the lotus, and he finally had to make a deal with everyone. He made a deal with the earth that you take one part, and whatever hole will be made in your body, that will automatically fill up. And he made a deal with the waters, that you will increase the volume of whatever is added to you, you will increase the volume, but you will get foam and bubbles. And then he made a deal with all the women that they'll have this curse every few days in the month, like that. And he gave them some benediction also for that. So this way, they heard all this from Mother Purnamasi. He was a demon, but he was in the form he was a Brahmin. So he may have been a demon, but he was a bull, so you made a big pop. So then Nanda said, all right, so what should I do to get free from this sin? So Radharani and all the Sakis, they discussed with one another. They said, you will have to go and take bath in all the sacred rivers of the universe. And Shamsundar said, Arey, that will take so much time. How I can be away from you girls for so long? He said, I will call all the sacred rivers here to one place. And Radharani and all the Sakis said, don't try to fool us. Don't try to make us fool. He said, no. And Lala, he went over and with his right foot, he stomped on the ground. Bam, bam, bam. And he made a big depression. And he played on his flute. And all the sacred rivers of the universe came there and stood with folded hands. Any service for us? And Shamsundar said, yes. You give your introduction, you chant your mantra, and you pour your water in my kund. So each one came up, he gave his introduction, he chanted his mantra, he poured his water. Like that. So they were all coming one by one by one. And Krishna was with his eyes indicating to Gopi, see, I told you. They're coming, see? He thought I just told you. So this went on for a very, very long time. It was very, very late at night when they all finished. And then Nandanandan, he jumped in the water and took his bath. And then he invited Srimati Radhika that now you can all come in the water and we'll enjoy water pastimes. Radharani said, "Arey, this water is contaminated with your sin. How we can take bath in this water? We'll make our own kund." So then Radharani went on the other side. There was a place where Rishtashura had dug his hoof into the ground, so there was depression there. So she broke her golden bangle. That we call kankan. This golden bangle we call kankan. So she broke her golden bangle and she began to dig. All the Sakis broke their bangles and they all began to dig and they dug out a big kund. In fact, several years ago, when they did the cleaning of Radhakund, they pumped out all the water. And we saw that still, that original kund, kankan kund, is still there in the bottom. If you go to the Jagannath temple in Radhakund, there's a Jagannath temple all around the Prikrama Marga one spot. And when Swarup Baba is there, if you ask Swarup Baba, he can show you the photo. They took photo of when Kankan Kund was visible. So we saw that. We waded through mud up to our calves. We went down the steps and we went through the mud and we went there and put some of that water on our heads from that Kankan Kund. So she made this beautiful kund in the middle. And then Nandan came, he said, "This kund is very beautiful, but there's no water in it." So then Radharani and all the Sakis said, "We're going to bring water from Manasi Ganga." It's just near the town of Govardhan. There's a beautiful place called Manasi Ganga. We'll get to that pastime later. So with hundreds and thousands of golden and silver water pots, they were going to make a big line and they were going to bring water from Manasi Ganga. But Shyamsundar, he doesn't like to see Srimati Radhika do any type of work. He doesn't want to see even one bead of perspiration come on Srimati Radhika's beautiful forehead. So he looked at all those sacred rivers personified and they became one person. And that one person, he went and he bowed down at Srimati Radharani's lotus feet and he began to pray to her and offer so many beautiful prayers to her. And she was looking at him very suspiciously. And she said, "And what do you want?" And she said that we thought that the perfection of life was to be associated with the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Because do you think that all the sacred rivers personify, do you think that Krishna became purified when he bathed in all the sacred rivers personified? Do you think like that? Anyone thinks like that? All the sacred rivers personified became purified because Krishna bathed in them. Krishna can't be contaminated. So this was just an excuse to get them all to come there and become purified. So they were praying that we thought perfection of life was to be associated with the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. But seeing your wonderful divine qualities and attributes, we can understand that the real perfection of life is to be associated with your lotus feet. So Radharani said, "What do you want?" He said, "We want to come in your kund also." So then she shyly smiled at her Shyamsundar and she said, "All right." And they broke a hole through the wall between the two kunds. And from Shyamakund poured into Radhakund. Even today, if you look under where the Sangam is, there's a little place you can see. There's a hole where the water mixes between them. So then, Sri Nandanandan, he told Srimati Radhika that your kund is very beautiful. And I will always come and take my bath in your kund. And Srimati Radharani smiled and she said, "And your kund is also very beautiful. And I will always come and take my bath in your kund." In this way, although Radhakund and Shyamakund are eternally existing, they have this wonderful pastime of appearing. So for that reason, when Mahaprabhu heard the name Aritagram, he remembered this Aristasur and he remembered this whole pastime. He began to ask, where is Radhakund and Shyamakund? And no one could tell him. Then being that self-same Brajendanandan Shyamsundar, Brajendanandan Asay Sachi Sutta Toiluje. We've all come here for this Gaur Purnima festival. This is next Purnima. 515 or 16, 17, I forgot, 15 years ago. That golden moon of Lord Chaitanya, that golden moon took birth in the womb of Mother Sachi. And he was none other than that same Udandanandana say, Sachi Sutta Bailoje. He became Sachinanda. Before he was Yashodananda, now he became Sachinanda. So being the self-same Brajendrananda and Shyam Sundar, he sat down on the banks of these two rice paddy fields that were there. And in meditation he could understand that these two fields, the local villagers, one paddy they were calling Gauri, other paddy they were calling Kali. Kali means black and Gauri means golden. Like that. So it was none other than, he could understand this is none other than Radha Kund and Shama Kund. So then Mahaprabhu went down to the banks of these two paddy fields, and whatever water was there, he began to take his bath, and he chanted so many beautiful prayers, and our Krishnadas Kaviraj has captured all of those prayers in the beautiful golden ropes of his Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's captured all of these beautiful prayers, and Srila Prabhupada has translated them all for us. He sang very, very beautiful prayers. Sabha Gopi Haite Radha Krishna Priyasi, Haite Radha Kunda Priya Priya Rasarasi. Sabha Gopi Haite. You can understand? This Bengali is very Sabha, just Sab means everyone. Sabha Gopi Haite, of all the gopis, Radha Krishna Priyasi. Radharani is the most dear to Sri Krishna. Sabha Gopi Haite Radha Krishna Priyasi. She is the most dear to Krishna. Taiche Radha Kunda Priya Priya Rasarasi. In the same way, this Kund known as Radha Kund is just as dear to Sri Krishna. Yata Radha Priya Vishnu Stasya Kundam Priyam Tata Sarva Gopishu Saivaika Vishnu Ratyanta Vallabha. Yata Radha Priya Vishnus. Yata, just as Radha Priya, just as Radha is very dear to Vishnu or Krishna, Yata Radha Priya Vishnus Tasya Kundam Priyam Tata. In the same way, this Kund is just as dear to Sri Krishna. Sarva Gopishu Sarva, we know this is Sanskrit. Sarva. Sarva Gopishu Saivaika. Sarva Gopishu Ek. Saivika. There's one. Vishnu Atyanta Balava. Atyanta means that is the most. That is the superlative modifier. The most. Atyant. Beyond very. That is the most. Balava. Beloved of Sri Krishna. Ekunde Nitya Krishna Radhika Rasange Jala Jala Kele Kori Tire Rasarange. Just listen carefully, you can understand also. Ekunde Nitya Krishna Radhika Rasange. Ekunde, when you want to say in, then the word changes from da to e. Ekunde, in the Kund. Ekunde Nitya Krishna. Krishna always, Nitya Krishna. Radhikara Sange, in the association of Sang of Radhikara, Radhika Sang. Ekunde Nitya Krishna Radhikara Sange Jale. Just like when you go to Braj and you say Pani. But here in Bengal we say Jol. So Jale, in the Jal, in the water. Jale Jala Keli. We know Keli. You've heard Keli before. Keli means pastime. So what type of pastimes? Jala Keli, water pastime. Jale, in the water. Jale Jala Keli Kore. You've heard this so many times, all the Bengali songs. Kora, Kore. Means to do. They were doing water pastime. Jale Jala Keli Kore. Tire. We know Jamuna Tira. Tire on the bank. Rasa Range. On the banks they were doing Rasa. Ekunda Nitya Krishna Radhika Rasange Jala Jala Keli Kore Tire Rasa Range. एक कुंड से एक बारह कोरे स्नाना तन राधा सामा प्रेम कृष्ण कोरे दाना. एक कुंड से एक बारह कोरे स्नाना. Say if somebody ek bar kore snana. You can understand that, huh? If somebody one time takes his bath, ek undi se ek bara kore snana, tanra then tanra radha sama prema Krishna kore dana. Krishna, he gives dan. Just like you go to Radhakund, so many Brahmins will be there to take dan from you. Huh? When you go there, especially Radhakund, they will just come and pester you to take dan. But at this place, if somebody one time takes bath, Krishna gives dan. What dan he gives? Radha sama. Just like we know in Bhagavad Gita. What is that? Samoham sarvabhutesh. You know, sama means equal. Huh? Samoham sarvabhutesh. I am equal to all living beings. So here it says Radha sama prema. That prema equal to Srimati Radharani's Krishna kore dana. Krishna gives in charity. Kundara mahima yena radara mahima. Kundara madhuri yena radara madhurima. The glories of this kund is just as glorious as the glories of Srimati Radhika. And the sweetness of this kund is just as sweet as the sweetness of madhurima. Just as sweet as the sweetness of Srimati Radhika. So offering all of these very beautiful prayers, Mahaprabhu took his bath in Radhakund. So this is the topmost place of all existence. Mathura Mahatma says that of all places, this Mathura Mandal is the best, because there Lord Krishna appears. And in Mathura Mandal, the best place is Vrindavan. That we're discussing, there's 12 forests, but the best place is Vrindavan, because there are so many wonderful pastimes are taking place. And in Vrindavan, the best place, the highest place is Govardhan. Because in Govardhan, so many ecstatic, wonderful pastimes are taking place. And in Govardhan, the most highest place is Sri Radhakund, because that is the topmost pastime. So many wonderful, intimate pastimes. We're not qualified to hear them or even speak them, but somehow or other, if we don't hear them and speak them, they will be lost, so we're speaking them even though we have no qualification. My tongue is just like, at night you hear this, we have so many Ritriks in our camp. They're all sitting outside my window going, Ritrik, 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 Ritrik. So my tongue is just like these Ritrik toads and frogs. But still, somehow or other we have to speak these things. Because only the devotees will be able to relish them. And one day, maybe by the mercy of Srimati Radhika, we'll be able to enter into the real understanding. Because we have no understanding. We're completely wrapped up in lust. We're only thinking, what am I going to get out of this? Whatever we do, we calculate first. What am I going to get out of this? Every relationship we're thinking, what am I going to get out of this? Whatever business we do, what am I going to get out of this? Everything we do, we're only calculating, what am I going to get out of this? But the love between Radha and Krishna is not like that. That love is completely transcendental. Radharani's entire being, if we could speak that her body had atoms, every atom of her body is only meant for the pleasure of Krishna. And she has no thought of her own enjoyment. And that is the love. That we can't even begin to understand. Prabhupada always used to quote this very nice verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, maybe 5th or 6th verse. What is that? Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikutir Ladini Shakti Rasma Ekatmana Api Bhuvi Para Dehabedam Gatoto Chaitanya Kyam Prakatam Madhudata Dvayam Chaikyamatam Radha Bhavati Subalitam Nomi Krishna Surupam. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikutir Ladini Shakti Asma. Pranaya means This loving pastimes. Pastimes between young boys and young girls. This is pranaya. But Radha Krishna pranaya, ladini shakti rasma. There's nothing to do with anything in this material world. It is a manifestation of Krishna's own Swarup Shakti, which is divided in 3 divisions. That Sandini, by which everything exists, Sambit, by which knowledge appears, and Hadini, by which bliss appears. So that is Krishna's own internal potency. Just like we're busy all day long trying to find something out here that's going to bring pleasure in here. Everything is advertising to us. Be the first on your block to get this thing. You'll be very happy. Like that. We're always looking. Something out here is going to give us. We're incomplete. We're looking for pleasure. But Krishna's own being is full of pleasure. Eternity, bliss, and knowledge. His whole being. He has nothing to seek. So we should not keep any mundane conception in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Ladini Shakti Rasma. It is manifestation of Krishna's own Ladini Shakti, which is part of his own Swarup Shakti. And Radha and Krishna, first of all, they're not 2, they're 1. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikati Ladini Shakti Rasa Ek Atmana Api. It says Ek Atma, one soul. Api. Api is tiny little Sanskrit word. But whenever you stick this tiny little word on the end of any other word in Sanskrit, boom, that word becomes, it's very small, but it becomes very heavy. We just put little words are like that. Eva is also a very tiny word, but boom, it's very powerful. It's very heavy. So he says, Ek Atmanav Api. It is certainly only one Atma, one soul. Again, Deha Bedam. Deha, you know. You know Deha? We all know this verse. Dehanosmin yata dehe komaram jovanam jala. So Deha means body. Or Deha Behedam. Just like we've heard, Mahaprabhu's philosophy is a chincha, Beheda Bhed. So Bhed means to divide. So Ekatmana Api Bhuvipara Deha Behedam. They have divided in 2 forms. It is one soul manifesting in 2 bodies. This is the transcendental reality. We can't. Someday, maybe by the mercy of the Vaishnavas and our spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada, we'll be able to understand these things. But we should not keep any mundane vision in our mind in hearing these pastimes of Radha. Ekatmanavapi bhuvipara deha bedam. For all time, bhuvipara, for all time they have divided in 2 forms. But very interesting thing, aduna. Just like in Hindi, we want to say modern, we say adunik. So aduna means modern, because in Vedic scheme of time, 500 years is nothing. That's modern time. Huh? So in this modern time, tadvayam cha ekyam. Tadvayam, those 2, cha ekyam, they again become 1. Cha ekyam aptam, they have again achieved oneness. That is known as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanyakyam aduna tadvayam prakatam tadvayam chakyam aptam. That is known as Chaitanyakyam. That is known as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When they have again joined together in one form, that is Chaitanya. Only by his divine mercy we're able to even get some, we have a glimpse, peek, we have some idea about this thing. Otherwise it's impossible for people to understand. Elevated position of pastimes of Radha. Only by his mercy. And now Rupa Goswami, or it says Rupa Goswami, or maybe this Swarup Damodar has written this verse. He gives some secret news. Radha Bhava Jyoti Subalikam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's the self-same Sri Krishna. I'm offering my obeisances to him. Nomi Krishna Swarupam. But Radha Bhava Jyoti Subalitam. Subalitam means to decorate. Just like we know, also this word is there, Lalita. Subalita is a more sweet word. Subalita. He has decorated himself with the bhav and duty. Duty means luster. Therefore we see Mahaprabhu is golden in complexion, like Srimati Radha. Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So he gives the secret information. That Mahaprabhu, he's golden because he's taken the bhav and duty of and luster of Srimati Radhika. But he's the self-same Sri Krishna. So we have no qualification to understand these things, but these are all very, very highly elevated subjects. Just like parrot, we're repeating. We have no understanding, but just like parrot, we're repeating these things. Like students in a class, we're hearing these things. We have no idea what this is about. Maybe one day, by mercy of the Vaishnavas, mercy of Srila Prabhupada, mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Srimati Radhika, we'll be able to enter into the mysteries and things. But now we've come to the most sacred place, Sri Radha Kund. It is actually liquid forms of Radha and Krishna's prem. These two kunds are actually the liquid form of Radha and Krishna. Because we have no qualification to approach Radha and Krishna. But they have appeared in the form of these two kunds, which we can approach. We can't have Radha and Krishna, we have no idea we can't approach. But by their mercy, they've manifested these two beautiful kunds, where we can approach them. Therefore, very carefully, we see there's many devotees, even they crawl into the water head first. They don't want to put toe first. Generally, we just put our foot in. When we go in anywhere, we put our foot first. But some devotees are there, they crawl in. Even, we know, Prabhupada told, don't bathe. At some point he told, because we're just Westerners, what we do, this is the liquid form of Srimati Radharani's love for Krishna. And we just run and jump. So Prabhupada said, don't bathe. But, if you read my version of the final order, you'll find in 1977 in November, Prabhupada wanted to go to Govardhan. And finally, somehow or other, the devotees convinced him that he wasn't capable of withstanding such a journey. So Prabhupada said, then the devotees should go. So Tamal Krishna is sitting there and he's telling Prabhupada all the things we'll see, Govinda Kund, we'll see Govardhan, Manasi Ganga, and we'll see Radha Kund, and Prabhupada gives the final order. He says, you all go and bathe on my behalf. And he says, we'll go see Radha Kund. Prabhupada says, you all go and bathe on my behalf. So, we should appreciate that it's not just a swimming pool that we just jump in and have a good time. Great reverence. Some devotees are there, they crawl in head first into the water. It's a very, very sacred place. It should not be taken lightly. Generally in big groups, because big groups tend to get boisterous. We never take bath. Except because, as I was saying, this pastime took place, it was very late at night when they finished. It was exactly midnight when Radha Kund appeared. So on that Bahulastami day, because this is near that we just went through Bahulavan, so somehow this day is called Bahulastami. I haven't figured out why, but anyway, it's called Bahulastami day. They celebrate, and Bhakti Ratnakar says this celebration has been going on for many hundreds of years. So we have evidence from Shastra also. Bhakti Ratnakar says this has been going on for many hundreds of years, that at midnight there's a big festival of everyone bathing in Radha Kund. So at that time, there's sometimes up to 1 lakh of people bathing there in Radha Kund. And it's at midnight, it's on Astami day, so at midnight, moon has just started to rise. Just a little more than half moon is there. It's Astami, 8th day. So a little more, just so at midnight she comes. On the full moon day she comes at 6 o'clock, but half day she comes at midnight. So just after midnight, and so many lights are there, and as everybody goes in the water, then the water, it's like Radha Kund has got her hair is standing on end by all the Vaishnavas entering into her waters. It's all dancing, like the water is dancing and all the lights are playing, and it's like she's become a diamond kund. It looks like a beautiful kund of diamonds. So at that time, when there's 1 lakh of people taking bath, then I also take bath, because at least that time she may not notice that one sinner snuck into the water. There's 1 lakh of people there, so otherwise we should be very careful about bathing in Radha Kund. And so many incredible pastimes have taken place here. The pastimes are unlimited. One time, because this is the Madhyakalin Yoga Peeth. In Braj, there are special places where only the most intimate associates can join together. Yoga Peeth means to join. So that first one, that is at Gupta Kund, just behind our little Brinda Kund in Nandagram. That is morning Yoga Peeth. Pratama Yoga Peeth. And Madhya means midday. Noontime Yoga Peeth is Radha Kund, where Radharani and all the most intimate Sakis come and meet Krishna there at noontime. And then they enjoy so many pastimes. Sometimes they were splashing, they had a water fight, and they were just splashing and splashing and splashing, and Radharani's bangles are going ching as she splashes the water, ching, ching, ching. And Krishna also, his armlets are rattling, chung, chung, and he begins to splash. And then he just, such a rascal, he begins to splash water straight into Srimati Radharani's eyes. And all the residents, all the Brishvasis are very sad. Everyone is upset that he's cheating like that, just splashing straight into her beautiful lotus petal eyes. So finally, she slips under the water and hides in a group of yellow lotus flowers. But no one is chanting no one is going Jai, Jai, victory, because everyone is upset that this rascal is cheating. But suddenly, Nandanandan, he can't see Srimati Radhika anywhere. She's disappeared. But Radharani's breath is so sweet. The millions and millions of bees who were buzzing around the lotus flowers, suddenly they saw this very beautiful golden lotus flower amongst them, in the middle of all the lotus flowers. So they all go to that place. So then Krishna, he saw, Acha, there she is. So he dives under the water, he comes up, and he gives Srimati Radhika a big embrace. But she slips out of his embrace. And then Krishna goes back under the water, and he comes up into where all the blue lotus flowers are there. So then Radhika suddenly she can't see Nandanandan anymore, and she's looking here and there. But if you go to Radha Kund, you'll see there's many monkeys. So all the monkeys are there, standing in the trees, and they're all looking in the middle of the lotus flowers like this. So then Radharani spots that there's Krishna hiding amongst the blue lotus flowers. Like this, so many wonderful pastimes are taking place in Radha Kund. We can't even begin to count the number of pastimes. And Radha Kund is, of course now we can't see, but previously, all around Radha Kund are the kunds of all of the Sakis also. Asta Sakis kunds are there. And in the very center is the kund of what is Radharani's sister's name? No, sister. Ananga Manjari she has a beautiful, right in the middle of Radha Kund is a beautiful palace, which is the place of Ananga Manjari. So they all have their little palaces all around. Just like Lalita has got one that is made of so many beautiful multicolored lotus flowers. And Visakha has one with so many beautiful different colored flowers. Then they're all around in the different directions. Then Lalita Visakha. Then Chitradevi, she has a beautiful kun. What color is her kun? Kunj, rather. She has a beautiful kunj. Each one is a different color. I can't remember right now. I think Chitra's is maybe golden. And when Radha and Krishna are sitting there together, you can't see Radharani. You can only see Krishna sitting alone. Ends in with the golden, because everything in that kunj is golden colored. All the trees, the birds, the bees, the flowers, everything is golden colored. So you can only see Krishna sitting alone. Then, other corner, Champakalata, she has a beautiful, so much, everything there is green. Then, Indulekha has a sapphire colored kunj. So everything there is, when Radharani is sitting there, Radha and Krishna are sitting there, you can't see Krishna, you can only see Radharani. One time even Mukara came, and she looked in that kunj and she only saw Radharani sitting there, she couldn't see Krishna. So then, no, Indulekha is this moon colored, that's right, moon, white colored, Indu's moon. So somebody's got a, Tungaviti must have a blue one, Rangadevi and Sudevi, somebody's got a reddish kunj.
Have a whole new perspective on Jagannath. But whatever the Lord's will, we don't know, but we got to do our duty. But from our side, we shouldn't do things. The worst thing to do is try to break in or get caught inside and get beat up to a pulp or something. That doesn't help anything. It's not that if we don't see Jagannath, we can see Jagannath at Rath Yatra time. If you come, you can see him on the Rath, and that's not the big issue, really, because we have Jagannath in all our temples, and we worship Jagannath. The issue that Prabhupada took up was much more of a preaching issue. It's a question of their accepting Lord Chaitanya. We don't, for worship, but even we can build a temple and we can have Jagannath come. But for preaching, we want them to accept Lord Chaitanya. That's the real issue. Otherwise, for ourselves, we don't deserve anything. But somehow we're accepted Lord Chaitanya, and Prabhupada felt that was enough of a reason for them to accept us. Especially now they accept that Buddhists and Sikhs can go in. Buddhists don't even believe in God as a philosophy. They can go to see Jagannath, and followers of Lord Chaitanya from around the world are not. It's just philosophically misconception on their part, and that therefore by some means or another that should be eradicated. But we shouldn't do foolish things to close their mind to understanding these things. And that's what the rumor that we're trying to break in just makes them so defensive that they don't want to hear anything. It's a trick by the people that don't want us to get in. There are many people that are favorable to having the devotees from around the world see Jagannath. There's a few people that don't want it, and the way they stir up the sentiment is spread these rumors. So we shouldn't do things to feed their rumor machine. I hope that helps something. I think it's nice. Okay, here we have some more endorsements. Our Bhaktivinoda Das is helping in this regard. This is the Uttaradi Mutt. Digvijaya Rama. Who's this from? This is what? Which one is this? Madhvacharya. He gave an endorsement.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.